is a book. Not just any book, but one that has shaped the course of civilizations and touched the hearts of countless generations. It sits quietly on shelves in grand cathedrals and humble homes alike, a silent witness to the lives unfolding around it. Its stories are whispered in prayers in the stillness of night and shouted in protests on crowded streets, echoing through both sacred halls and public squares. For billions, it is a source of comfort, a guide for life, a promise of something greater beyond ourselves. It offers hope in times of despair and wisdom in moments of confusion. It has inspired acts of charity, built hospitals, and comforted the grieving. Its words have moved people to feed the hungry, shelter the homeless, and heal the sick. Yet, it has also been used to justify conflict, fuel hatred, and defend oppression. The same verses that inspire kindness have been twisted to sow division. The same text that unites communities has, at times, torn families and even entire nations apart, leaving scars that last for generations. How can one book inspire both peace and war? This is the paradox of the Bible, a source of both healing and hurt. It holds humanity's brightest hopes and echoes of our darkest moments, reflecting the full spectrum of our experience. To understand its impact, we must see both its beauty and its controversy, its power to unite and its potential to divide. The Bible is not just an ancient text, it's a living document, shaping our present and influencing our future. Our journey is not to find easy answers, but to ask better questions, to seek understanding in the midst of complexity. We'll explore its radiant message of love and its most difficult passages, wrestling with the challenges it presents. We'll see how its words have been understood and misunderstood across centuries, shaping beliefs and sparking debates. This is a story about faith, history, and our ongoing struggle to understand our place in the universe, a journey that continues today. The story begins as it should, with love, and with love we begin to understand. At the heart of the Bible lies a revolutionary idea: unconditional, all-encompassing love that transcends boundaries and expectations. This love is not just a fleeting emotion, but a powerful force that shapes lives and communities. This love is not earned or deserved. It's a gift, freely given to everyone, regardless of background, status, or past mistakes. It is a love that reaches out to the forgotten, the broken, and the lost, offering hope and belonging. Paul described it as patient, kind, and enduring, a love that bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and never fails. It is a love that stands the test of time and adversity. This message was radical then, and remains powerful today, challenging us to rethink how we treat one another and what it means to truly care. It suggests every person has worth simply because they exist, not because of what they do, but because of who they are. This idea is both humbling and uplifting. Its most famous expression, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son," reminds us that divine love is sacrificial and boundless. This is a universal invitation, not limited to a chosen few, but extended to all people, everywhere, regardless of their story. Divine love is not just a feeling, it's action, sacrifice, and redemption. It's feeding the hungry, lifting the fallen, and standing up for the vulnerable. Jesus made it personal and challenging. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This teaching asks us to go beyond comfort and love those who may never love us back. This defies our instincts for retaliation, calling us to radical empathy, forgiveness, and understanding, even in the face of hurt. To love an enemy is to see their humanity, even when they refuse to see yours. It's a courageous act that can break cycles of hatred and open doors to peace. The Hebrew Bible also speaks of a deep covenant love, a steadfast commitment that endures through generations and trials. The prophet Micah summed it up: act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with your God. These words call us to live out love in every aspect of our lives. Justice, mercy, and humility flow from a heart filled with love, transforming not just individuals but entire societies. From Genesis to Revelation, the Bible envisions a world healed by compassion, where love is the foundation of every relationship and community. This message of love has captured hearts and minds for millennia, inspiring countless acts of kindness, forgiveness, and hope across the world. The Bible doesn't just talk about love, it shows it, weaving stories and lessons that have shaped hearts for thousands of years. Jesus' parable of the Good Samaritan is a powerful example. An outcast, someone overlooked by society, stops to help a wounded stranger when others simply pass by without a second glance. The message is clear. Love is defined by what you do, not by your status, background, or beliefs. It's about action, not just intention. This call to action has echoed through centuries, inspiring the creation of hospitals, charities, and movements dedicated to serving the vulnerable and forgotten. The love described in the Bible is practical, a force that meets real needs, offering food, comfort, or hope without expecting anything in return. We see it in everyday moments: a parent's patience through sleepless nights, a friend's forgiveness after a painful mistake, a stranger's courage to step in during a crisis. Love your neighbor as yourself is more than a phrase. It's a cornerstone of human ethics, a principle that has shaped laws and communities. It asks us to imagine ourselves in another's place, to feel their pain, to share their joy, and to respond with empathy and understanding. The ultimate expression of this love is sacrifice, symbolized by the cross, a reminder of giving everything for the sake of others. But sacrificial love isn't limited to one event in history. It's seen in martyrs, missionaries, and countless ordinary people making daily sacrifices for family, friends, and even strangers. The Bible's message of love is not just a story to be read, but a life to be lived, an invitation to turn faith into action every single day. Its influence is found in the quiet acts of kindness that bind us together, in the small gestures that make a big difference. This is the enduring power of its message, love in action, passed down through generations, crossing boundaries of time and culture. The Bible's call is clear. Compassion is not optional, but essential, a vital thread in the fabric of humanity. Its stories challenge us to live out love, even when it's hard, even when it costs us something, reminding us that true love often requires courage. That is the legacy that endures, a legacy of love, compassion, and selfless action, carried forward by every generation. But the story does not end there. The Bible's pages contain both soaring love and unsettling shadows, judgment, violence, and laws that challenge modern sensibilities. The same text that commands love also tells of cities destroyed and laws regulating slavery. How do we reconcile these contradictions? This question has challenged readers for centuries. Interpretation is key. Are these timeless commands or reflections of ancient cultures? The struggle to understand these texts is part of the journey of faith. The Bible becomes a mirror, reflecting our own assumptions and fears. As we enter these shadowed valleys, we must confront the parts that challenge us most. Few topics trouble modern readers more than slavery in the Bible. The text regulates, but does not condemn, the institution, sometimes even distinguishing between Hebrew and foreign slaves. In the New Testament, Paul instructs slaves to obey masters, but also urges masters to treat slaves justly. For many, this is a painful contradiction to the Bible's message of freedom. Yet abolitionists argued the Bible's spirit is one of liberation, pointing to the Exodus and Paul's letter to Philemon. Historical context matters. Ancient slavery differed from later forms, but was still a system of oppression. Some theologians argue the Bible planted seeds of equality that would later undermine slavery. The debate continues, a reminder of how sacred texts can both support and dismantle injustice. Wrestling with these passages is essential to understanding the Bible's legacy. Violence in the Bible, especially the Old Testament, presents a profound challenge. Stories of conquest and divine judgment are difficult to reconcile with a loving God. Some see these as literal history, others as nationalistic epics reflecting ancient struggles. There's a progression within the Bible, from violence toward peace. Later prophets envision a world without war. Jesus teaches nonviolence and love for enemies. For many, Jesus' teachings are the lens through which the whole Bible is read. The tension between the sword and the shepherd remains, a reflection of two visions of divine power. The Bible's violence is not easily explained, but it cannot be ignored. It forces us to grapple with the complexities of faith and history. The Bible presents a choice. Will we follow its verses of love and forgiveness, or those that can be twisted to justify exclusion and violence? Its legacy is one of contrasts, light and shadow, liberation and oppression. Martin Luther King Jr. drew on its message of justice and nonviolence to inspire change. Yet, the same book was used to justify the Crusades and religious wars. Interpretation is powerful, the words don't change, but their meaning shapes history. Today, some churches champion social justice and inclusion, while others use scripture to divide. The Bible can be a weapon or a source of healing. The text is silent. The reader gives it a voice. That voice can build bridges or walls. The choice is always ours. The Bible's influence depends on how we choose to interpret and live its message. Its power lies in our hands. We end our journey with a question. Does the Bible's message of love outweigh its shadows of slavery and violence? For many, the answer is yes. The trajectory moves toward love, mercy, and justice. For others, the darkness is too deep to ignore, and the harm done in its name cannot be erased. The debate continues, shaping laws, ethics, and cultures worldwide. The Bible's influence is undeniable, for better and for worse. Ultimately, we must ask, which impulse shapes our world more, love or division? The answer is not in the text alone, but in how we choose to live its story. The journey continues with the choice always before us.